What up YouTube, it's Misery's Company. We are continuing our Inferno build guide series for Diablo Immortal with the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter is one of those classes that I actually really enjoy playing. It's one of the better ranged classes in the game, except that it focuses on single target compared to the most ranged targets or most things in the game that focus on multi-target. So it really does have a niche role in the game, but in this video we are showcasing the absolute best build for both PvE, farming, as well as single target. That's gonna be great for your dungeons or raids. This is just an all-around great build for the Demon Hunter for Inferno, and it's honestly the only one that I would recommend. So I'm not gonna be making a second video about the Demon Hunter like I've done for every other class. This is really just an all-encompassing build, and there is one change I would recommend for the essences, but we'll talk about that at the end, so make sure you watch to the very end. And without further ado, let's get straight to it. All right, so like I said, this is going to be our PvE dungeon, as well as basically all encompassing build for the Demon Hunter when it comes to Diablo Immortal in Inferno difficulty or above. This build is literally good. It's just phenomenal. I love this build. I use it all the time. Literally, in fact, the only build that I use on the Demon Hunter, and I've actually stayed on the Demon Hunter almost to the point where I can get the Essence Mastery fully unlocked. And that's saying something, because I have not been on many classes long enough to do that. The only other class that I have fully unlocked in terms of Essence Mastery is obviously my Wizard. I thought the next class was actually going to be the Blood Knight, believe it or not, but it's I'm going to go ahead and just finish out the Demon Hunters kit in terms of getting it to rank 4 for the Essence Mastery, and then I will go ahead and switch classes after that. But as you can see, guys, it's just you literally, because you can auto attack or primary attack and walk at the same time, this build is phenomenal. And then you do get a little bit of movement there with your acrobatics, if you will. And most of your abilities you can just keep on just smash on cooldown. You do get a slight benefit from using knockback shot with multi-shot, because that actually helps do a firestorm, as you can see there, which helps with the crits. That was also a crit from one of my legendary gems. Oh, this might fall off. Nope. But yeah, one of the easier builds. It's not super intense, very, very easy to do. We'll talk. This is actually the exact build I also use for raids as well as dungeons. And that's one thing that I think is kind of overlooked when it comes to the Demon Hunter, is that you can keep the same build once you get all these essences very, very easily. And I mean, I just keep my speed boost stance on, which basically gives me 10% increased running speed, and I just run a little bit faster all the time. So you subsequent your lack of mobility with your stance, so you lose, I think, a little like 10% crit, and instead you get the movement speed, which I take 100% of the time when I am farming like this. I might even lose my yeah, I lost it. That's fine. I was being greedy and trying to collect all my things. But yeah, you get the idea. I could farm all day. In fact, I've done a ton of farming. I even have most of my gear to level 21. I'm working on my 2 new pieces now. But if you haven't noticed in my previous videos, like, I had most of them 20. So that shows just how much farming I've been doing now that they're all 21 minus the 2 new ones, which I'm going to get to level 21 before I progress any farther. Now we're going to jump over to the actual build itself and talk about the skills and why I pick what I pick. So I will be right back. Okay, so for the build itself, when it comes to the headpiece, it's actually the only one that I would recommend changing. There's only one essence that I don't have that I would want on the headpiece, and that's unfortunately the one that I would recommend to make this build a little bit better. But currently I'm using the knockback shot damage increased. The chest piece is wind shear. Knockback shot now causes your primary attacks to also fire a blast of wind that knocks enemies away. Knockback shot damage increased by 12%. Again, I'm currently at Essence Mastery level 3, which is why it is what it is in terms of numbers, in case yours is different. Shoulders, multi-shot also launches 2 homing rockets, each dealing 3,000 or a damage, basically. Damage increased by 60%. Pants, Daring Swing also increases your primary attack speed by 30% for 5.6 seconds. First main hand, Impale now causes your primary attack to also hurl penetrating knives that deal damage to all enemies they pass through. Impale damage increased by 12%. This one is really, really, really good, not gonna lie. Then obviously it's the Hunger. This one's been in for like ever in this build. Crossbow shot will now pierce through enemies and strike additional enemies behind. Crossbow shot damage increased. Basically, it's good for PvE and PvP. And then for Flaming Arrow, multi-shot now fires flaming arrows that damage and burns enemies. Multi-shot damage increased by 12%. And then this one I use Impale causes enemy to bleed for 5,523 damage over 3 seconds. This build is very, very good, like I said, for literally all things Demon Hunter related, PvE, PvP even, or dungeons slash raid builds. Now let's talk about the essences that I would recommend switching if you wanted to, or the one that I really would like to have. So the headpiece that I'm missing, not that one. No, okay, it's this one. So False Manifesto. After using Knockback Shock, your primary attack is increased by 30% for 5.6 seconds. Honestly, I would rather do that because it's going to make your primary attack speed even faster, which is literally all of your damage. Now, that you could make an argument for the pants. I think there might be a different pants you could use. It's kind of preference. The shoulder, maybe it's not. I think I have all the pants. I do. Daring Swing, no. Smoke Screen, Escape. Knife trap. During vengeance, 2 primary attacks will cause you to launch 1 additional. Nope. I use that for PvP though. That one could be good if you were using vengeance, but we're not. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So the shoulders, if you wanted to, you could switch instead of this one where the multi-shot now launches 2 homing rockets dealing damage. You could. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could do. Where are we at? Daring Swing also fires ice arrows to the ground, forming an icy path that continually damage and chills enemies. Daring Swing damage increased by 12%. It adds damage to an escape skill, which is the only reason I'm going to mention it, which is a decent option for in most cases. But personally, I like the additional damage from the rockets, from the multi-shot. Personal preference there, but you could totally do it. And then I think there was another one. Multi-shot and also knocks enemies away. This one is the Deceives Report. Pretty good in PvP if you're using this exact build. This one's actually really good at keeping people at bay. So that way your knockback shot as well as the... what am I missing? Knockback shot as well as your multi-shot will knock people away, which is pretty good. Oh, excuse me. I got a bit of a cough. I can't shake. So in terms of... skills, we're using crossbow shot, multi-shot, impale, knockback shot, and then daring swing. Basically, all of this is going to buff your auto attack minus daring swing, which is going to be your escape. Also, keep in mind, based off the pants, this does increase your attack speed. And then your multi-shot, which is going to help you get the firestorm with your knockback shot. And that's going to be it, guys. So for set gear, what I'm currently rocking is a 2-piece Vithus, 2-piece Banquet, I think, which I'll tell you what I would do differently here in a second. And then a 2-piece War Rags, which gives you the primary attack damage. Instead of Banquet for this build, I would probably do a 4-piece Vithus. That way you get the increased attack speed for 3 seconds after you use a skill that grants a beneficial effect. So that's what I would recommend. Actually, I don't even know if that would work now that I say that out loud, because I don't even know if these will count as beneficial effects. Maybe it's War Rags that I'd recommend. Yeah, so do War Rags instead. Your primary attack speed gradually increases. Your primary attacks gradually increase your primary attack speed up to 25%. So yeah, I would do that instead. That one's guaranteed, and you're basically gonna be auto attacking the whole time. So you're basically gonna be at the 25% very, very easily. So I would do 2-piece Vithus, and then I would do the increased for War Rags 4-piece. But I just use the 2-piece of basically each because I'm bouncing between a lot of different classes right now. But that's the build that I would recommend. Honestly, I very much enjoyed the Demon Hunter far more than I would recommend some of the other classes, such as the Barbarian, which I just did not enjoy at all. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below of this build and the Demon Hunter and how that you think they're doing in the Inferno difficulty. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next time, lock it in.